All right, cool. What's happening, everyone? Corey here with the Long Island Lacrosse Journal. I got Jordan Levine, head men's lacrosse coach up at Mercy College. Coach Levine, how we doing over there?
Doing well, Corey. Thanks for having me on, bud.
Good, man. How's work and home life?
It's different. Getting used to all the Zoom chats and working remotely, and with that too, enjoying some time at home with the family for sure.
I feel like you're like a relationship-driven guy. It's got to be tough to go from just being so hands-on with your team and building that camaraderie and relationship with your players to like not even be able to like get together in a room. How you guys kind of getting through that?
Yeah, it's a tough thing. So we didn't even have an end of the year meeting. We had our last game was March 10th, was a Tuesday, and we gave the guys off that Wednesday. And that Wednesday afternoon is when we got the call that, basically our season was canceled and we're moving people off campus. So, not even collecting uniforms, gear, or even as so much as a goodbye meeting, we were off campus. So that was a tough thing. And we were, off to a pretty good start. And, now it's just keeping in touch, like I said, with the Zoom calls and text messages and phone calls. And, there's ways to stay connected. And I think we're doing a good job of, having pretty constant communication with our players. It's just, like you said, it's a bit different than, all being together and, in the locker room and on the field together.
What, in your opinion, like, why is it important, like during times like this, for you to stay connected with your team?
Yeah, it's, we're experiencing unprecedented times. I mean, the reason why I think most people get into coaching is to build those relationships. And, as a coach, you're a teacher first, and, you're there to support these guys through any challenge. So, we've had our Zoom chats, and a lot of it hasn't been about lacrosse, where we've had support staff on to help them get acclimated to, using Blackboard or having all their classes online where they're not used to that. Having academic advisors get on and go over some study skills and how to balance their day, and have our strength and conditioning coaches on, and, just to give them some routine that they can get on, that's going to help them, be successful in school, mental health, where they're, in a good place, and, almost like a distraction from all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, I think that's really smart that you kind of are developing that routine for players, because especially when they're confronted with like really tough news and you're kind of like immediately ripped out of your environment that you're really comfortable and you're happy in and you're thriving in, and then also like, you're just kind of everything stops and you have so much free time. It's kind of like, all right, now how do I regroup and rebuild and like reorganize? And to have that guidance that you're providing, I'm sure is super impactful and helpful for your team. What's some of the feedback that you're getting from maybe the leadership on your team that's like, oh wow, like that's a great idea, guys. I like how you kind of decided to do that. Like, have you seen some creativity, some ingenuity, some of those things with your leaders?
Yes, actually, our grad assistant coaches and our seniors came together with an idea. We're doing this teammate challenge that's on our Instagram. And every couple of days we're posting a new one, and then it's kind of goes hand in hand with the appreciation of your teammates and the mental health aspect of it, where we kind of clip in some highlights, and then we ask certain questions what this teammate means to you. So each guy in the team is paired up with another. And they're just going over like their best memories together, why they're important, some good things they've accomplished together, and posting that on our social media for the whole team to see, which has been pretty neat and something that we hadn't done before, that we've gotten real good feedback from the whole team.
That's awesome. And how are some of your kind of seniors coping with this type of situation? Because obviously for some of them, maybe that's the last time. They didn't even know it. That's the last time they might have played a college game. How did that process go for them in terms of getting through it?
Yeah. I think we've been pretty fortunate with that. So we had 7 seniors on our roster. Typically we carry a smaller roster, and I think we do that strategically, where, when we carry a smaller roster, where those guys are getting more personalized attention in everything they do, whether it's from the support staff, from the coaches, strength and conditioning. So we only had 7 seniors. 6 of them are coming back. 5 of them were planning on doing grad school anyway, so they were in a situation where it worked out. It worked out pretty well for them, and it was really, down to those 2 guys that weren't and are, making those decisions. So we were pretty fortunate there that they were coming back anyway, and they looked at it, well, this is great. I was coming back to Mercy to do grad school, and now I'm gonna have the opportunity to play again. And obviously that wasn't the case at a lot of other institutions. But
Yeah, that's a unique situation, and that's great to hear. I mean, those kids probably are pretty pumped that in their 5th year they can play some lacrosse as opposed to just focus on whatever it is that they were doing. What
right.
are some of the areas of focus that your current seniors are trying to do and aspire to do at the next, life after college as young professionals?
Right. We've got 3 guys of our seniors. They were in the 5-year program, education program. So it's, 4 years. They're doing their undergrad in whatever subject that they were planning on teaching. 1 math, 1 history. 2 math, 1 history. So they're going to be on that 5-year program, getting their master's in secondary education. One of our guys was coming back to do his doctorate in physical therapy. So he was a health science major on the undergrad level. And then we had a guy that was coming back to do his MBA. And then the last 2 guys, one of them wasn't planning on coming back. He was looking to enter the workforce, but now he's decided to pursue his MBA. And then our 7th senior is going to graduate, and he's entering the workforce with a sales job. So there's some diversity there, but I mean, that's the majority of the guys that come to Mercy. They're either looking to, and we do have, over 90 programs of study, but majority of the guys on our team are looking at our health sciences. The job placement's really good. So a lot of guys go the physical therapy route. We've had a few occupational therapy, physician's assistant, nursing, and then the education and the business programs are very popular among our guys.
Cool. And you want to touch on just kind of how you guys have been growing as a program over the last couple of years, and where were you guys at before everything kind of came to a halt this past year in 2020?
Right. So I've been at Mercy College since 2008. Yeah, even before we had a lacrosse program. 2010 was our first year in existence. So steadily we've improved and gotten better. And then it was, I don't know, I think we broke into the top 20 in 2015 and kind of held there, and we're in our conference tournament. 2017, we made our conference final for the first time. And then last year in 2019 was kind of the year we got over the hump where we were ranked anywhere between, 13 and 20 in the final poll. And we got a couple of signature wins. I think it started with our season started with a win against Lemoyne, and then we had a couple wins against LIU Post and Seton Hill and some really strong programs, and got our first conference championship, our first win in an NCAA tournament. And I think that gave our guys a great deal of confidence heading into 2020. We ended the year 8th nationally. We were 5-1 with the 1 loss coming to Lemoyne 12-11, who's ranked in the country. So I think getting those signature wins in 2019, because for a while there we were a competitive program, but it took a while where we were losing some of those close games, where we finally got over the hump and had that confidence where we could go in and beat a top 5 team and play with anybody. So it was unfortunate because, like I said, we were 5-1, ranked 8th in the country, and had what we felt was a real strong case to make another run in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's apparent you guys are shooting. You have really high goals, and you guys are close to getting there. You're knocking on the door, which is cool to hear. For you, as you built up the program and have tried to kind of bring in kids that fit into your culture and work together in order to be successful, what are some of the intangibles you kind of look for as a coach as you go out there and recruit the right kid? And after you bring the kids in, what are some of the core values that you follow to keep the program moving in the right direction and successful?
Right. I think our niche that we've been pretty successful, probably about half our rosters from Long Island. And it's just tough kids that want to work hard. And you talk about core values. I mean, really, it's simple, but what we tell our guys is if we want you to do 2 things. We want you to always do the right thing, and no matter what the situation is, in the classroom, community, on the field, and always work hard. You do those 2 things, and that's in the front of your mind, you'll be successful. So that's kind of what we're looking for. for guys that we bring in our program. And I told you, like, we're pretty selective and we keep a small roster, and we do that strategically. Like this year, we only had 31 guys, and most, you'd think that's a small roster, but the way we look at it is, in a competitive lacrosse game, you're probably playing somewhere between 20 and 22 guys, and it's kept everyone engaged. Our retention has been real good, and we've had success with it. Where, I've been on calls with you where we're making sure that we're vetting guys and calling club coaches, high school coaches, making sure that this guy is the right fit. And I think for any program, especially, it's true for any program, but especially a program like Mercy, who's on the rise, and like I said, it's relatively a new program where you're not getting like those blue chip guys or those, a team filled with high school All-Americans. The locker room and the culture is so important to success, where it's a good fit. You got a lot of guys that are working hard and doing right things. And then, when you have a tight-knit group and you have that good culture, I mean, I think without those blue chip players, that's how you beat some of those top teams that have been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. And, I think, those types of kids are, I would think some of the top programs and coaches would agree, but also some coaches might say, yeah, but like if you don't have those blue chip kids, it's like, they just can't, some of the hardworking, gritty kids maybe just can't do some of the same things those kids can do. But for you, if you take a kid like that and you put them through what you guys do throughout the year, and then they develop and can reach the standards that allow you to be successful and play at the highest level, maybe those kids can do some of those same things. And I think, I'm just curious for you, like, how do you kind of know, and how do you have the confidence that you can kind of take like a hardworking, gritty kid who might have the same vision as you have, but also has the ability or the capability to reach that level that you want to reach? Is it a confidence in how you run your program and your support staff, or is it, hey, there's certain things I see in certain kids that I bring in that I know if you just give me enough time that he can do really special things one day?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of it is that I have confidence in myself and my staff. Our associate head coach, Joe Carossi, has been with me for, 8 years now. So we've got continuity and, trust his ability to identify those type of players as well. And then a lot of it too is, reaching out to guys, coaches like yourself that you trust, that you're going to get, real good feedback from, to make that decision. And then, looking at my college experience, I didn't start playing lacrosse till later on in life. I was a football player, and I played college lacrosse at Albany for Coach Marr. And if you look at how he's built his program, so when he took over at Albany, they were a brand new Division I program. They've had lacrosse for years on the Division III and II level, where he really did an unbelievable job of recruiting those type of tough, athletic lacrosse players and then developing them, turning them into better lacrosse players, more polished lacrosse players. And I think I, as a lacrosse player, was an example of that. And now he's built that program where they're in the Final Four and the quarterfinals, and he's getting those blue chip type players like a Lyle Thompson or Connor Field. So I've noticed that too at our level. From a new Division II program that took our lumps early on, you build it with those type of tough, hardworking guys, and you continue to recruit them. But now I think the level of recruit that we're able to get and guys that are interested in Mercy, we're like, that's a program that's been in the NCAA tournament, won an NCAA game, won a conference championship. We think we got a good chance to compete for a Final Four. And, now we're noticing that the skill level and type of recruit that we're getting has elevated in the last couple of years.
That's great. And also, just based on what's happening right now, just to kind of communicate some of the tensions and frustrations that's happening amongst, some of the Long Island lacrosse recruits. And I'm sure kids around the country, but and parents too, naturally. But a lot of kids too are stressing a little bit about how, hey, I would love to get in front of or talk to or go to a prospect day at a school like yours, but I just can't, right now because of the uncertainty of what's going on. Or, hey, like I was expecting to, do big things in my junior year for my high school team and put together a nice little highlight reel to send out. Now I can't. What's maybe one piece of advice you can offer up to a kid like that who might you know, be in that situation, and try to work through, you know, just kind of these like uncertain times, so to speak.
Right. I think the most important thing right now is just to not get discouraged. Obviously you need to stay safe and do what you have to do. And hopefully this, pandemic and this situation gets better and we're out and back on the lacrosse field and playing again. But I would say be patient and don't get discouraged. It's not exclusive to my program, but I'll use Mercy College as an example. I mean, 3 of our real key guys that really put us in a good situation this year and helped us achieve some big wins and get a national ranking, we signed in July. And they came to school in September. So late recruitment happens, and it's not exclusive to Mercy College. That's, from some of my friends in the coaching world, Division I, 2, and 3, that there's options and there's availability later on. So I would say you're not the only person that's in this situation. Not get discouraged, stay patient. When you get your opportunities, make the most of them.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate the advice and your insight, Jordan, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck here as you guys move through it.
Thank you, Corey. I appreciate it, and stay safe.